This episode of the Gamerheads Podcast is brought to you by Seven Bridges Premium Gourmet Yum Yum Sauce. Enhance every bite with our savory blends of flavors, perfect for meats, vegetables, and crispy treats. Whether you're dipping, drizzling, marinating, grilling, roasting, or snacking, Seven Bridges Yum Yum Sauce takes your culinary experience to the next level. Get yours today and make every meal a gourmet delight.
Hi, I'm Celia Schilling from Yacht Club Games.
Hey, this is James from Megacat Studios.
Hey folks, this is Matt, aka Stormageddon from Reignite and the Fun and Games Podcast.
This is Stephanie from the Boss Rush Podcast and the Boss Rush Network.
Hey, this is Mark and Keon from Bonte Avond.
Hey, this is Sebastian with the ProNerdReport.com and the Single Player Experience Podcast.
Hi, this is Chris.
Mike.
And Garrett from Daylight Basement Studio.
Hey, this is Baron J67 from Level 1 Gaming.
Hi, I'm Jacob McCourt from the Left Behind Game Club, Crossplay Conversations, and Video Game Trivia.
Hey, this is Todd Mitchell from Code Right Play.
Salutations, this is Mike Carroll from Stroll Art.
Hey, this is Jeff Moonen from Fun and Games Podcast.
What's good, y'all? This is Adam from Respawn Aim Fire.
Hey, this is Patrick from the Backlog Odyssey.
Hey, this is Rune from Runic Codes.
Hi, this is Andrew from Spalato Bros.
Hi everyone, Jill Grote here from the Indie Informer.
Hello, this is the Crypt Master, and you're listening to Roger You're listening to Roger on the Gamerheads Podcast.
Oh, it went already? All right. You told me to pay attention. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll pay attention. Yeah, and welcome to another episode of the Gamerheads Podcast, everybody. I am Mike. With me is Phil. Hi, Phil.
Hi, Mike. I hope we keep that in there just because I had the contemplation of just cutting you off at the knees as you were going to go and like start doing the intro like I do to Roger. And then I was just like, no, I'm going to let Mike do his thing. And then we botched the entire intro. So now here you stand with this messed up intro.
Yeah. Speaking of botching, Hulk Hogan was at our local grocery store today.
Did you go?
Nah, the line was too big from what I've heard. So people posted on the local Facebook page. Why is there such a big line outside Jewel? Well, Hulk Hogan's there, and somebody's like, "Why is Hulk Hogan there?" And I replied, "I'm like, he's the new bagger." Or no, he's the new I said he's the new stock guy. So then I just posted it. I'm like in quotes. I'm like, "Hey Hogan," like I could just picture him. "Hey Hogan, where's the sun chips?" Aisle 6, brother.
Aisle 6, brother. Be careful. I accidentally crushed some of them when I picked them up.
So, Roger.
This is what happens when we buy out the show and we get rid of Roger. It's this.
That's right.
It's this easy.
Yeah, absolutely. So Roger's out again.
Where's Roger this week? Do you have any ideas?
Yes. Right now he is in Yuma, Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah. He saw that
Hot Air Balloon Fest?
Is there a Hot Air Balloon Fest in Yuma?
I don't know. I think the entire Southwest is Hot Air Balloon Festivals in my brain.
Yeah, sure. Let's run with that. He's sponsoring a Gamerheads Hot Air Balloon, and he actually is. It's throwback, so he's bringing things back to 2010, and he's calling in police reports that there's a kid inside the balloon when there really isn't. Do you remember that? Anybody who has no idea what I'm talking about, probably about 15 years ago, there was a guy who reported his son was in a hot air balloon.
God, that's right.
You remember the weather balloon incident or whatever it was?
Yep.
It turned out to be fake. They were just lying.
Were you originally going to go with like 316 to Yuma or whatever the name of that movie was?
Yeah, 310 to Yuma. That's what I was going with, but that's okay.
310, 316.
316. Yeah, that's starring Steve Austin. So that would be a good combination. Instead of shooting people, he just stuns them.
So that's the kind of podcast we are tonight, huh?
Yep, indeed. So Roger is busy maintaining a hot air balloon in Yuma, Arizona. So if you see,
I wish him the best of luck.
Yeah, if you see a giant white balloon with a satellite stuck to it, that might not be the one that Roger's. That may be the Chinese spy balloon. I don't know where we're going with this.
It also explains all the weeks that he would talk about how he was playing hot air balloon pilot simulator.
That's true. Yeah, that's on the Atari 2600 too, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes. It was the follow-up to Barnstormer.
Barnstorm was a good game. That's one thing I missed out on, and I had no idea they did that, those Activision games, and I really wish they did. I wish I had known. When you get a certain score on those games, you could send away and they'll mail you a patch.
Yep, I remember hearing about that. I never got any of those either, just because I was too young.
Yeah, me too.
Or not too young, but too uninformed, I would guess.
That's why I enjoyed. That's why I enjoyed Premium Edition games, because they do the same thing. They'll mail you a patch if you get a certain score. So, but anyway, so Roger's out. He's still on his adventure halfway across the world. Actually, I got a better one. He's in a hot air balloon because a illegal diamonds dealer has a bunch of diamonds and stuffed animals and has them delivering. That is a very obscure reference, if you know where I'm going with this.
It's here somewhere, but I don't remember exactly what it was.
Yeah, that was the Alvin and the Chipmunks movie.
Oh God.
Where they took a hot air balloon race against the Chipettes, and these illegal diamond dealers were using them as mules to smuggle diamonds to drop offs. Good times.
I vaguely remember that.
Yep. So there's your history lesson, everybody. Patches and Chipmunks. That's the name of the episode. All right, let's get into it. Anyway, okay. So in the news today, Netflix is having a big event this week, and they're showing off a bunch of trailers for a bunch of new TV shows. What does this have to do with video games? I'm glad you asked. There are a bunch of TV shows that they release trailers for that are video game based. So we're going to go through those pretty quick. They announced a Cyberpunk Netflix, and these are all animated shows, by the way. Cyberpunk, no information on that, just a teaser, just saying, hey, we're working on it. There's a trailer. You can check it on YouTube for the Devil May Cry Netflix animated series.
I would imagine that one's being done anime style.
Yeah, I think these are all anime style. Well, I don't think they are all anime style. They're not. None of them are like the Cuphead cartoon or anything, where it's funny. So
got it.
And Devil May Cry comes out in April. They also showed a teaser trailer for the Splinter Cell animated series, which I'm looking forward to. I love Splinter Cell.
Interesting.
Sam Fisher looks much older in this, so I'm curious to see how they're taking it. No release date for that, but they did show off a teaser. Castlevania Nocturne Season 2.
Ooh.
That's coming out in January, and if the teaser trailer is giving the correct hints, we might be building up to a Symphony of the Night season.
Interesting.
Yes. So keep an eye on that one. That comes out in January. They also showed a teaser for, no date on this one, but this is Magic the Gathering.
Oh.
A show? Well, I don't know. I never got into it, so.
Me neither. That's why I just owed it.
Oh, okay. And then finally, they showed the full trailer for the new series based on Tomb Raider. And this Tomb Raider series, animated series, is supposed to be a follow-up to the recent trilogy. The Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Shadow of.
Yeah. The Ofs. The Of trilogy. And that comes out on October 10th. The Tomb Raider trilogy, or the Tomb Raider trailer, looked pretty good. I was kind of underwhelmed by the teaser that came out a couple months ago, but this new one that just dropped today, I'm liking it. It looks like it's diving into more supernatural and some of the more creature and horror related stuff that the original Tomb Raider trilogy dabbled in a lot more than the reboot. At least the first two. I haven't played the third one yet.
What was the name of the third one again?
Third one was Shadow of the Tomb Raider. That was the one in the jungle, I think.
Yep. I think I bought that, but I haven't played it yet.
Yeah. Just like me, man. Welcome to the backlog world.
Yay, backlog.
Yay. So this bit of information brings us to our icebreaker. Phil, if you were running Netflix, and I guarantee you would do a better job than the current people are doing, I'm sure. What video game IP would you have them make into a cartoon?
You know, I have a go-to answer for almost anything that I'd like to see reboot, re-released, remade, re-squandered, turned into something new. And that answer each and every time is Bioshock.
Oh, I didn't think. Oh, that would be perfect.
Yeah. I want to see Big Daddies in animated form. I want to watch the entire world of Rapture play out. I'll even go as far as like wanting to see Infinite play out as well. I don't remember what the name of that civilization was, but I just feel as though that's a perfect universe because it did have some really crisp storytelling to begin with. And if you turn that into a long form narrative, I feel as though it's time to shine. And you can also flesh out all of the characters that you only had a couple of minutes with.
I like that, man. I would love, and supposedly Netflix is working on a live action series.
Oh hell, give that to me in live action in that case.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think from the rumors that I heard, I think that the Bioshock series is actually a prequel to the game, so it might just be about the fall of Rapture.
Okay, I'd still watch that.
Yeah, I think that'd be great too. So that would be cool. I would love to see a Bioshock. That's a good one. Any others you would like to see?
That was really the only one that stood out. I could also, and again, not to go to my wheelhouse too often, but I also would not mind watching a Red Dead series.
That would be nice.
Just because you're watching a long-ass epic Western, which is what the game was to begin with, but without so much of the farting around out in the desert and out in the mountains and in the plains and stuff, and just more so story-focused with a little bit of the... with a little bit of all the side quest stuff that's thrown in there, like maybe capture a couple of bounties and go out and do some hunting for survival and things like that, or watching the main character do so.
That was always one of my favorite thing about the bounty hunting in that game was the conversations you would have with them after you capture them, and you're riding back into town.
As you've just got them draped over the back of your horse and you're riding back into town, they're just chirping away the entire time.
Can't you like punch them? Couldn't you punch them or pistol whip them as you were riding on the horse, or am I just crazy?
Yeah, if you got tired of them, you could knock them out so you didn't have to hear them anymore.
Yeah, that's funny.
What about yourself?
For me, oh man, I'm trying to go. So I defaulted to Mega Man, but there was already a Mega Man cartoon, so actually a few of them. So I'm gonna say I think Metroid might have would make for a good anime.
Captain N wasn't good enough for you?
Yeah, Samus wasn't in Captain N. I don't think she was ever in an episode of that.
No, Mother Brain was though. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, Mother Brain. Close enough. So yeah, there's Metroid adjacent. Close enough.
That's how I identify.
I think Resident Evil would make for a really good anime.
Haven't they done some of those?
They've CGI. They've all been CGI. Okay. But I'm talking remakes of the stories of Resident Evils 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be cool. But that. Yeah, I also think so. These ones are kind of out of left field, but I think this might be better as live action. But Alan Wake, I think, would make for a fun.
Oh yeah, Alan Wake is a hell of a call. That's most definitely. Well, live action's in the game in and of itself, so I mean, maybe an anime would be even not more fitting, but it would be a nice twist to everything.
Mm-hmm. And then I don't know why I'm thinking this, but I think it would be really cool to see an anime or animated show based on Turok.
Yeah, I feel like did they not do one? Or is it just comic book and I'm confusing
the two? They did comics, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just getting my genres confused, which is pretty typical for me.
Mm-hmm. Finally, I think it would be nice to do... I think a Streets of Rage show would be cool, too.
Yeah?
It'd be different. It would just be different, you know?
Yeah. Or a... what was the one that Capcom did that was on the Super Nintendo where you could pick from three
Final Fight?
Final Fight, yeah.
Yeah. Some kind of beat 'em up, you know.
Or Dino Crisis?
Dino Crisis. I think Dino Crisis would make a good live-action horror movie.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That might get into theater.
That would be cool. Yeah. Did you ever see... There was a movie that was awful at some parts, but was amazing at other parts. I think it came out in like 2004. It was called A Sound of Thunder.
No.
I remember seeing it. It was an interesting story. It was basically, there is an organization or a business, a corporation, and it was a vacation. So you remember how like in Total Recall, like there was like a whole vacation, like they put you into like a deep sleep or something like that. But it was a corporation that sold an experience where you go into an actual time machine and they put you back into the prehistoric era with guns to hunt and kill a Tyrannosaurus Rex. So people would go and do this and kill this T-Rex. They planned it out so this T-Rex was going to die anyway. Was going to get was about to fall into like a tar pit and just, get drowned in the tar pit. So it didn't matter if you killed it, it was going to die anyway. So it would have no impact on the future.
You wouldn't butterfly affect it?
You wouldn't butterfly affect it. So these two guys that go and do this vacation accidentally kill something else.
Oh.
And when they come back, things start to change. And there's like starts to be dinosaurs in the real world, and it's an interesting concept. There's some real cheesy dialogue, but if I remember, some of the scenes were pretty nice in it. Some of the horror
Sound of
elements.
Thunder?
Yeah, it was called A Sound of Thunder. Like I said, maybe 2004, maybe 05.
2005.
Yeah.
Ooh, a whole 6% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, really? It's that bad? Okay, so maybe my memory isn't as good as I thought.
That's worse than Borderlands. That takes talent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said that.
What about a Borderlands show?
Yeah, why not? I think a show might have been better fitting than the movie was.
Mm-hmm. So yeah,
and that's all I'm going to say without being a shithead.
Yep, no one will say anything else. Okay. All right. Next bit of information. Huh. What's up?
Well, did you know that Sound of Thunder was originally a sci-fi short story by Ray Bradbury?
Yep.
Published in 1952? Okay.
Yep.
I got no new information. Keep going with the show. Show it is.
All right. What else was announced? Okay, so last week we got an announcement from Sony about a PlayStation 5 Pro. Well, just yesterday they announced a new PlayStation 5 Anniversary Edition. And this harkens back to the original PS1. So they will be releasing some PlayStation 5 Pros and some PS5 digital editions that have the same color scheme as the OG PlayStation 1. The controllers,
so the old gray box with
gray box.
Like green, red, and yellow and blue logo?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And it's still the same style. It still looks like a PS5, but it's just the color scheme that's different.
Yeah.
The controller also looks like a PlayStation 1 controller and has those same colors on the buttons.
Nice.
So that's pretty neat. Nothing leaked on price or anything like that, but it tempted me. It tempted me. That nostalgia, man, like that grabs you. I'm like, yes, I want to get that. I will spend the money. And then I'm like, well, wait a second. Let me count how many PlayStation exclusives that I would play on this.
Still 2.
I counted, I think, 4.
What are your 4?
The new Astrobot game.
Okay, forgot about that.
Ratchet and Clank, probably. And that one's in Spider-Man 2.
Yep.
And I think that was it. So maybe 3.
Boy, is there. God of War.
Yeah, I could play it on PS4.
Oh, I didn't realize the new one was on PS4 as well.
Ragnarok? Yeah, you can get that on PS4.
Shit, I might have plugged my PS4 back in.
All right. So I decided, you know what? I don't need it.
Nope.
It would be nice, but I don't need it.
Yeah, it's not necessary. We'll say $500 to $700 for 2 games, 3 games.
Right, exactly. Plus, like I said, with my backlog the way it is, so.
Mm-hmm.
As always. All right, next bit of news. So this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be mostly talking news today because the show is half the show it used to be without Roger. So,
which is weird. We get rid of a third of us, and somehow we lost 50% of us.
50% of the quality is from losing 33% of the team. I don't know. That it's too late for me to math right now.
We should have invited Trina on. She could have kept us afloat.
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. Well, maybe we'll see if next week. Oh, we'll get Trina on next week, and we can introduce her to another friend of the show.
Whoa. You pump the brakes on that. Don't go saying that name out loud. Otherwise, he's going to appear. And last time he was here, he kicked in this damn door right behind me.
That's
scared
right.
the hell out of me. I haven't recovered since last year.
Yeah, but he's supposedly toned things down now.
Really?
Yeah, he joined a commune over in San Diego. So.
Okay. Better San Diego than San Francisco.
Yeah. So, those of you who haven't listened to the show in a while, you'll know more about this next week. Little teaser. Anyway, next bit of information. This is all, of course, rumor, so grain of salt, as always. Supposedly, the design and specs for the Switch 2 have leaked.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows that this is true because people love... I don't know why people do that. I hate when people do that. They go to such great lengths just to make up fake stuff, just to mess with people. Like, why would you do that? But anyways...
Well, Mike, we're not all decent human beings like you and I are.
Right?
There's other people out there that are not upstanding citizens of their community that like to create false rumors to get a little bit of shine on themselves for about 15 minutes until the entire world hates them.
And then the thing is, like, they don't get held, like, as accountable as they should. No. That's one thing I've always wondered, is, like, with video game sites, they post these rumors and stuff. How come nobody goes back to them and says, hey, this never worked out? You know, like, put their feet to the fire.
You would think readership, viewership, things like that would drop off from people that are just like, yeah, this is a done deal. This is what I was told.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't happen. People just eventually be like, you know what? You guys are unreliable as hell. We're no longer paying attention to you.
Yep. Oh, well. Well, with this, I'm not going to get into the exact details because I'm not very techie, but what I've seen on this Switch 2, it basically looks like an upgraded Switch. So it looks just like the same system that we know and love, right, Phil? And it's, albeit the screen is going to be slightly bigger, supposedly.
Does it run in 1K?
Yes. It's finally going to run some DOS games from 1994. It's slightly larger, and once again rumored, the Joy-Cons will be magnetically attached to the sides as opposed to
interesting.
Slide-ons.
Mm-hmm.
The power, they're saying, is going to put it right at around the PlayStation 4 Pro or the Xbox Series S in terms of power and quality.
Okay.
Which would make sense to me because Nintendo systems, ever since the Wii, have been, in terms of power, one generation behind their current. So to say the Switch 2 would be power level of a PS4 Pro would make sense.
I could buy a launch PS4, but not a PS4 Pro.
Well...
I just don't think Nintendo's got the capability of throwing all that into a handheld. If they do, more power to them. Prove me wrong, and I appreciate it. I still won't buy one, but...
Well, supposedly they're utilizing some new AI graphics enhancement features. I don't know. DLSS.
Is it called a Samsung Galaxy?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. It's called a Nokia flip phone.
Nice. I can finally play Snake.
That's right. No idea when this is going to be officially announced. And as like with anything Nintendo, don't believe it until you hear it directly from them. And even when you do directly hear it from them, don't believe it until it's actually out.
Yep.
I made that mistake with the 64 Double D, which, no, that's not what you think it is.
Mike. They didn't release that game on the 64. I know they didn't.
Yeah, the 64, no, the BMX Triple X.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I almost bought the Guy game. Remember that? The Guy game?
Man.
I almost bought that brand new based solely on the thought that it would increase in value. Like, I'm going to buy this and not play it, and I'm going to sell it later. And I never did buy it, but I think I should have, because I think it's worth some good money now. But
you know that the Guy game is moderately notorious on this podcast, right?
Yeah. Oh, on this show?
Yes.
No, I didn't know that. Were you in it? Were you one of the girls in the Guy game? Did you?
I mean, yeah, I used to be Phyllis, and now I'm Phil, so we've come to that point. No, there was we might have to cut this part out. I'm just going to bite my tongue so we don't have to say it.
All right, we don't have to talk about it.
Yep.
All right. Anyway. All right, so that's about all the news we got at this point. So let's go ahead and get into what we've been playing. So, Phil, I'll let you go first. I've done enough talking.
I do just want to point out that I do still have a copy of BMX Triple X.
Nice.
As well as Outlaw Beach Volleyball, Outlaw Golf.
Mm-hmm.
That game was actually a lot of fun, Outlaw Golf was.
You should talk to my buddy Kurt. The two of you should do an entire podcast on Outlaw Golf.
Does he actually like Outlaw Golf?
It's just one of his favorite games of all time.
Like, you get rid of the jiggle physics and shit, and it's a good golf game.
Double up the physics.
All right, he took it further than I did then.
Yeah.
Games that I've been playing. I've really only played one thing outside of the ordinary this week, as it has been kind of a weird and special week for me. And I'm not proud of the game that I've been playing.
BMX?
And I've only played about 7 levels of it. No, dude, I'd be proud of that. That means I still have a working old school system. The game that I've been playing might, in fact, be the worst kart racer I've ever laid a controller on. And it is Paw Patrol Grand Prix.
Oh, jeez. Are you really doing that just for achievements?
No, I played it because I wanted to play a kart racer, and I saw it there, and I put it in. I shouldn't say I put it in, but I booted it up on the cloud because you can play it on the cloud, so thankfully I didn't have to waste any kind of storage space on it. It is awful, man. Like, have you played this?
No.
I don't know if I believe you with that response. You have, haven't you?
I'm offended by that question. You played Paw Patrol, right?
Yeah, I mean, I played the Paw Patrol, the 3D rendered one, but then I decided to pop in Grand Prix because the Paw Patrol 3D Mario kind of style game wasn't all that bad.
Oh, okay.
But Paw Patrol Grand Prix is a kart racer where you kind of sort of have control over your kart, but you really don't because it seems to automatically auto-adjust you into the center of the track each and every time.
Which would make sense because it's a toddler game.
All right, man. Listen, I don't insult your takes on things.
You insult the Switch every single chance you get.
Well, that's because the Switch sucks, and so does Paw Patrol, which is why I'm calling it out.
So then why are you knocking me for agreeing with you?
I don't know! Let me ask you this question.
Yeah, go for it.
Have you ever played a kart racer without a brake button?
I don't think so.
Yeah, there's no brakes in Paw Patrol Grand Prix. You just give it hell and you go and collect. No, even Wipeout had brakes.
Oh.
I went to
Those
hit the brakes
cars.
at one point.
Yeah.
No, those are floaters. And I got to see behind me when I went to go hit the brakes because that's what the typical brake button does. And so then I went and checked the options for the controls, and there is no brake button whatsoever.
Oh.
Premise of the game is pretty simple. It's a kart racer where you race around a path a handful of times. And as you collect dog bones, you get to unleash your special power once you've collected so many of these dog treats, and that can take other people out. And then there's little packages floated in the middle of it, like there are with every other kart game known to man, that will give you some kind of a power-up that you can hurt yourself with, like you can in most other games. But the frame rate sucks, the graphics suck, the sound sucks, the control sucks. I played, like I said, 5-6 races worth of it, and I was just like, what am I doing with my life? I'm going to go outside and stare at the sun and see if I can blind myself as I get back into this. It's one of the worst decisions I've ever made, but I managed to get like 250, 260 achievement points out of it. But I will not be going back to it because it sucks.
Oof. Yeah, I would imagine I wouldn't need to really play the game to tell you to be able to tell you that. But I appreciate you taking one for the team.
I had higher hopes. Like, this game's worse than half the shit that I played for Tales from the eShop and all that kind of stuff. Like, it's bad.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very fun. I'm sorry that you put. How much time did you put into it?
Oh shit, maybe an hour.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine.
No, it wasn't. I should have called it quit after the first track or after the tutorial and just been like, all right, I'm good. Like, why am I getting back into this? Oh, I don't know. Maybe it'll get better. It didn't. So yeah, that's outside of Overwatch and the show and NCAA football. That's basically all that I've tinkered around with. I'm still waiting to get into the casting of Frank Stone. I think we're going to hold off until it's a little bit more autumny outside, at which point we'll jump into that and I can start talking about that. Like I said, kind of just a busy week, so unfortunately that's all that I really got to dive into. I almost bought Plucky Squire today, but talked myself out of it. Ooh. I might do it tomorrow just because it's there, but I'm kind of cheap and want to hold off.
I'm the same way.
But now it's Plucky Squire. I'll end up on just cheap.
I'm just cheap normally. Go ahead.
I get that. I also have a feeling it'll just show up on Game Pass in about a month and a half, 2 months. So it's just yeah.
I'd agree with you because I think it's on PlayStation Plus.
Yeah, it is already,
right
which
now.
is why I think it'll show up on Game Pass.
Yeah.
I don't know. What have you been playing?
I've got, I'm going to go back to that not buying a game. I've got a game right now in my Xbox shopping cart, but I haven't pulled the trigger on it because I'm wondering, should I buy it now or should I wait for the sale? And that is Lollipop Chainsaw.
Yeah. The remaster of it?
Right. It's like, it's on sale right now, but I don't want to call it on sale because it's only 5% off.
That's not a sale.
Yeah, so it's 40.
You save tax.
Yeah. Not in my state. That's maybe like half of the tax at best.
I forget you guys get double taxed on video games.
We get taxed on everything. It's ridiculous. I think they even impose like a leaving the state tax. Like if you want to move, you got to pay a leaving the state tax.
That explains the toll roads.
Yeah, it's anyway. So I've got that right now in my shopping cart, and I'm like, oh man, I'm really tempted to get that game, but I'm like, it seems like I'll be able to get it for half price in a few months.
Did you play the original?
No.
Oh, the original.
But I've always wanted to. No, I've always wanted to. But yeah, it's tough.
It's worth checking out. But if I was you, because it just got released in the last week or two.
Yeah, last week.
Yeah, I'd hold off on it.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I'm doing the same thing with Dead Rising as well.
That's the other one, Dead Rising. That's the other one that I'm tempted to pick up. But then it's a Capcom game. Those Capcom games go on sale all the time.
Yep, and especially since one was probably my least favorite of the ones that have all come out, just because the timer was such a constraint in the first one.
Yeah, I ended up working well with it, though. I hated it at first, but then I was like, okay, this ain't bad. I think I ended up having to use a walkthrough.
Yeah, it's a big game. With just a lot going on with it, which I could see where a walkthrough would be beneficial. I'm pretty sure I used one a couple of times, too, just to figure out where I needed to be and when.
Absolutely loved. I played the entirety of Dead Rising 2 with a buddy online.
Yeah.
Dead Rising 2 is great, but when you're playing online with somebody, it is so much better.
It's beautiful chaos when you're playing with somebody else.
You know what I'm thinking, Phil?
Let's do it.
Maybe we should fire it up. I have it.
Okay.
I have it on. Because it's like I don't know if it's just like an HD version or whatever, but you can get it.
I feel like I still have my disc.
Not the 360 one.
Oh, is there a new one?
Yes. I'm looking it up right now.
All right.
Dead Rising 2. Yeah. I don't, you know what? I'd have to look into it. I don't know if it's like an up-resed version for the Xbox, but it's one of those games that does go on sale.
Okay.
But it does have online co-op.
Yes, it does. I believe myself and my friend Adam played through that together and had just the time of our lives. We also played through Resident Evil 4 together when it first released. I think it was Resident Evil 4.
Resident Evil 5. I loved Resident Evil 5 playing that online too. Man, Capcom was really killing it in the 2006 through 2012-ish
or so.
Yeah, a lot of great original games.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, so that's what's in my cart right now. That should be a segment. What's in our cart?
Mike's cart.
What can't we pull the trigger on yet?
How many are on your wish list? Sorry to interrupt.
No, actually.
Your cart/wish list.
Well, I just got the Lollipop Chainsaw game in my cart, which I haven't pulled the trigger on. My wish list has about 30 items, but that's only because when my Microsoft account got hacked, I lost it, and they had to transfer the information to my new account, and my wish list disappeared. But so I had to make a new one. So I got Lollipop Chainsaw on that. I got the Plucky Squire. I've got several games in mind that we might be hearing from a friend of ours.
Yeah.
I got the Castlevania DS collection. I'm going to wait for that to go on sale.
Mm-hmm.
What else? I've got a couple games that I would like to get as gifts, like Aliens Fireteam Elite.
Wasn't that on Game Pass before?
It was, but I'd like to buy it as a gift for somebody, so I'm just waiting.
Oh, gotcha.
Backpack Hero. That looks fun. Let's see. Crow Country, which is kind of like a Resident Evil PS1.
That's on my wish list as well.
Nice. It's an old one here, Alan Wake's American Nightmare. That's one I still haven't played.
I own that still.
I haven't. Oh no, wait. I have Inscription, which is like a horror card game.
Oh.
Yeah, Balacho got me like looking into card games, so I'm waiting for Inscription to go on sale.
Okay.
Let's see, what else? Beyond Good and Evil 20th Anniversary Edition, the new Double Dragon game, the new Contra game, Heaven Dust, which is also a Resident Evil style type game. Killer Clowns from Outer Space, but then they're releasing a physical version of that. Have you been you haven't played that at all in a while, have you? So it's just
I haven't played it in a bit, no. It's more so it's one of those games that if you've got a person or a couple of people to play with, it's that much better of an experience, where flying solo isn't the greatest thing in the entire world. It's not bad, but everything's better with friends.
Yep. And then Raging Bites, which is like a top-down zombie, and not like a top-down shooter, but it almost looks like an RPG.
Okay.
Pixel graphics and everything. And then Blasphemous 2.
I think Blasphemous is in my wish list as well.
Right. Anything fun?
I think I only have I've got all of the sequels, not sequels, but follow-ups to Mothman 1966 that are in mine. I've got Crow Country. I unfortunately can't look at it right now, but there's a game where you're a photographer for the afterlife that is in there. Indiana Jones is in there just because I could add it, so I did. Plucky Squire is in there. There's a couple of like Metroidvania games that are in there too that looked intriguing that I'm just waiting to drop below like say $10 to grab and then check out.
Yep.
But yeah, mine's only at about 19. Unfortunately, right. I wonder if I can pull it up and see it. And I just crashed the podcast.
Yeah. So while you're looking that up, well, I'll just call out what I've been playing. So I actually can't believe I did this, but it was on sale, so I repurchased PGA 2K23.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I did it. So here's what's going on. My buddy that I play every Sunday with, his Xbox Live just ran out, and he can't really. It's getting to be too much. So I said, well, looks like it's on sale right now on Steam for $15. Why don't we just buy it on our PCs? And then we don't have to worry about paying to play online. So now I guess I'm PC Master Race guy. Yay.
Oh, boy. How the mighty have fallen.
I know, right? I actually just ordered some extra RAM for my computer, too, so...
I don't even know who you are anymore. You went from a Switch to a PC Master Race guy?
That's right, yep.
You just skipped 12 generations.
I totally did. So I've been playing that, and playing some more Balatro, and then finally... my wife and I finished The Quarry. And
Talk to me, Mike. Talk to me.
I absolutely hate The Quarry.
Really?
Well, actually, no. I hate myself and my abilities to not play The Quarry well.
Welcome to the club.
And here's the thing, and I brushed on this last week, but with games like that, it really just gets my anxiety way too high because I'm like, am I making the right decision? Am I making the wrong decision? Mm-hmm. Earlier in the game, before last week, there's parts where it gives you a tip. When you are aiming the shotgun, you want to make sure you fire at just the right time. Too far away doesn't do enough damage.
Yeah, it's a shotgun.
I'm like, yeah, which makes sense. So I'm like, okay, so because of that, I killed 4 people.
Oh, no.
4! I had everything going for me. And by the time the game was over, only 2 people survived.
Ooh.
Because I waited too long. And when the thing is, and I got mad too, because when I pulled the trigger to shoot, those red bars were still showing.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't good enough. So I was a little frustrated, and of course it's easy to blame the game, but I'm sure it was user error. But it was still a fun ending, and I really good story. I really liked I really liked the flashback chapters.
Do you remember the part where it's the flashback? I'm not trying to step on your toes here, but the flashback where it shows the carnival burning down.
Yes. Oh yeah. But you need to find a certain tarot card to see that flashback.
Oh really?
Yes.
Oh,
because
so
that's an interactive. Yeah.
That's what, like 30 minutes left in the game?
Yeah.
That's where my game kept crashing and I couldn't complete it until I got a new Xbox. So I was only 30 minutes away from the end for about a year and a half before we could finally finish it.
Oh, wow.
And then we got to finish it, and like Rachel and I looked at each other like, shit, there was only 30 minutes left? That really sucks.
Yep.
All in all, though, you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I still enjoyed it. And when I said the flashback, I didn't mean that when I meant the jail flashback.
Yeah. I know which one you're talking about.
So that was really good storytelling. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I think my wife and I were going to watch it. We're actually going to go, because once you beat the game, you can watch it in movie mode, where it's like, hey, you can just watch this in movie mode for the good ending. I think we're just going to do that.
You don't plan on playing through again and trying to keep some other people alive?
I might. I don't know. We might replay some of the chapters just to see what happens. Yeah. I like that aspect of it too, because you can replay some of the chapters.
Mm-hmm. And did you ever download Manabadan?
Not yet.
Okay. I want to.
Which of those is the best?
The second one, in my opinion.
There's Manabadan, Devil in Me.
Yep. Mm-hmm. God, what the hell is the name of the second one? That's basically about Salem, Massachusetts, and it's all about witches.
Oh, that's good.
But that one was probably
Little
my favorite
Hope.
one. Little Hope, that's the one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because one of them is about mummies, the other one's about witches, right? And the other one is about serial killers.
And then there's a serial killer one too,
which is based
on a hotel in Chicago.
Oh yeah. I really hope that Supermassive gets like licensing.
Well, I mean, they kind of do, because the new one is all based off of Dead by Daylight. But I know what you mean, like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre or something like that type of a license.
Scream game. I think a Scream game would be a ton of fun to play.
Especially with so many characters. But then so would a Friday the 13th game, which would essentially be what 4 is all about, except instead of whatever, you'd have Jason in play.
You just made me think of something. They announced that that they were working on Friday the 13th video games. Like
Supermassive did?
Not Supermassive, like the owners of the franchise.
Yeah.
Like they were like this Jason verse. There was a whole announcement about they're working on a Jason verse.
Okay.
I wonder if that might be in the cards. You know what? I probably should have saved this for a for
spooky season,
an icebreaker for the spooky season. Actually, you know what? Let's do that. Because I have a perfect one. So let's not worry about that. So anyways, The Quarry, still a fun game. Enjoyed it. Had a lot of fun with it, even though I felt horrible. And that had me going. Like I couldn't fall asleep that night. I felt so damn guilty. Because I fell in love. At first I hated Caitlin. She was like the confident, kind of like the leader of the group almost.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm talking, and then throughout the rest. Oh man, now I'm really remembering this game. Throughout the entirety of the game, I started to get to enjoy her more and more, and she ended up getting killed, and I felt so horrible. Like I couldn't sleep that night. The scene with, and I don't know the guy's name, Caitlin and one of the other guys, when they were at the junkyard, my heart was pounding. Like a game hasn't really given me that kind of an emotional connection and like intensity and like scared, and I'm like slamming on that A button when he's got the when he's moving the giant magnet with the car, whatever they call, whatever that thing is, the crane.
It's a giant magnet with a car.
I like that, yeah. So when that scene is happening, and I'm like, because like that's when I started to enjoy these characters, like especially Caitlin, such an amazing job, and I'm like, I gotta do this, and I'm like. And then when the scene finally ended, and I was successful and everything, I was like, oh, thank God. I was like, so in terms of getting me invested, yeah, the Quarry did a great job. I haven't felt that invested in a game, in a character, in a video game in a while. So
yeah,
kudos to them for that.
The Dark Pictures anthology ones are the exact same way too, where you kind of just not to say fall in love with a certain character or characters, but you like really get attached to the certain characters.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I've told this on the show, but the vampire one, I don't remember what the name of it is. But Kyle and I played it pretty late at night, and when Kyle and I are playing games pretty late at night, things sometimes get a little bit wonky, for lack of better
Things get silly.
phrasing. Yeah, most definitely. And I think we finished that game with only like 1 or 2 people surviving the entire thing. And like we quit playing for the night after we beat it, and like an hour and a half later, I get a text from Kyle that's just like, "Hey man, sorry about that." Just like,
no, you feel horrible about these decisions. And then Supermassive was like, "These games are meant to be you're meant to enjoy the experience. Don't worry about saving everybody. Just I'm like, "No, that's not what it's supposed to be about. You're supposed to save everyone."
Yep. Yeah. Oh man. Next time the first Dark Pictures anthology goes on sale, like with all of them, I might have to scoop that up for you, because I think you and I would have a damn fine time playing through those together.
I would love to.
And I do believe they did announce a second Dark Pictures anthology, but unfortunately the curator, who was kind of the narrator for all the stories, he passed away moderately recently, so I don't think he will be part of all of them, which is too bad, because he's such a rad character that is just like in his giant library and like telling you the story that you're about to go play. God, I love those games. I'm good now.
That's So like I said, I was like absolutely devastated when I lost all those. Yeah, when I crapped the bed in that game.
And it's too bad that the Quarry is much like the casting of Frank Stone, where it doesn't play like the anthology ones do, where you can play split screen or just opposite views with a friend, where you're each controlling a character and like working your way through things. Because there's some stuff that happens in the first one, the Man of Medan, that is hallucinogenic mind Effie type of stuff. Censored myself. Nice job.
Nice.
Where like when Kyle and I were playing, Kyle's like, "Don't shoot, that's me. Don't shoot, that's me. Don't shoot, that's me." And I'm like, "I don't believe you." And I didn't shoot because he talked me into it. But like, there's good stuff that goes on with there where it really messes with your brain. And New Hope's kind of the same way too. Man, these games are good.
Cool. Is New Hope like Halloween-ish?
Little Hope, not New Hope. That's my bad. I started that one. New Hope is Star Wars.
Yeah, Little Hope, yeah.
No.
I thought it took place during Halloween or something.
God, maybe it does. It's been a while since I played it, because I played through that with Kyle, and I played through that with Carrington as well.
All right.
And it might have one of the best entrances or intros to a video game ever, where you're kind of like the tutorial section before the opening credits roll is. It's a flashback in time that you play through that is pretty gnarly and wonderful at the same time. Like,
cool.
Little Hope kicks ass.
I might have to I have a couple. I don't know which ones I have on the PS4 and which ones I have on the Xbox, so I might have to rebuy the Xbox one or buy. Yeah, I don't feel like.
I will gladly, Mike, if you will play through them with me, I will buy you them next time they go on sale, just to have that experience again, because I adore those experiences.
I'll look into it when we're done, see which ones I got. So
okay.
So yeah, that's our that's our recommendations on what our listeners should pick up. Look into those Dark Pictures, Supermassive games, especially now we're getting into spooky season. So
yeah, they're so good,
so good. Are you gonna go see the Until Dawn movie? Are you actually going to go to a theater?
No. The last theater that I went to was in San Francisco. I haven't been to a theater since then.
Oh, man.
And that was 2019, right before the pandemic.
Wow. That's okay. Well, teach their own. I went last week. I went the week before. We're probably going to go tomorrow.
What'd you go see last week?
Speak No Evil.
Oh, not good. You grunted.
I was really looking forward to it. I thought it was going to be intense as hell, but it wasn't that intense. It was a little suspenseful, but the ending kind of fell apart. And I thought the villain, the true villain of that movie, was the main character, the main character's wife.
Okay.
I thought she was the true. She wasn't made out to be, like, she wasn't supposed to be the villain of the movie, but she was definitely the worst person, one of the worst people in that movie. She was a horrible human being.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't that good.
That's too bad.
So, but oh well. All right, so that's it for this episode. When is Roger coming back? That's it for this episode of the Gamerheads Podcast.
We got a month left, Mike. We got a month left.
That's right. Yeah. All right. Well, Phil, if somebody wants to get a hold of you on the social media, how can they do that?
You can find me at BNow23 on Twitter, because I refuse to call it that new name.
That's right. And you can find me at PezGuyMike. And if you wanted to check out any of our reviews, feel free to go to
Gamerheadspodcast.com.
That's right, .com. And check out all sorts of reviews. We have a whole review crew, too, so check it out. We have some really great reviews. We have some write-ups from Roger and Trina's trip over to PAX, so be sure to check those out. What am I missing?
If you want to check in on Roger and see how his hot air balloon expeditions are going, you can find him, I believe, is at Nintendroj at twitter.com.
Soon to be Steam Deck Raj.
Yeah, soon to be Steam Raj or Steamy Raj when he gets all
Steamy
sassy.
Raj! Yes! Is Steamy Raj available?
I sure hope so for his sake.
That's awesome. All right, cool. Well, hey, everybody, thanks for hanging out with us. And until next week, stay safe and game on. We'll see y'all next time. Goodbye, everybody.
Take care.